good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Dima Odd Music. The last 4 to 5 months, I have been covering Tiffany Henyard, aka Super Mayor, or as Pink Book Lessons likes to call her, the City Girl Mayor. And of course, many YouTubers have gotten onto that bandwagon. In fact, many news outlets have been covering her from across the world, not just in the States, the world. I've seen South Africans talking about it, people in New Zealand and Australia talking about it. But we need to get back to what's going on in our own communities in Black America. And what I've noticed is a sick pattern happening in the Black community. We have people in leadership positions, both men and women, who are, well, taking advantage of the people they are supposed to be helping. Let me say it again. Taking advantage of the people they're supposed to be helping. Very similar to Tiffany Henyard. So we're going to fly all the way to Detroit, Michigan, where we have a sister by the name of Zina Thomas. So Zina Thomas is a Detroit citizen. She serves or was serving as the director of home ownership programs for the United Community Housing Coalition. And this is a way to help low-income Wayne County residents get housing to low-income residents. But instead of helping them, she'd rather do what Tiffany Henyard is doing and say, F those people, and help herself. Can I get a cha-ching sound effect? She's going to be responsible for orchestrating a scheme to defraud. But how she's going to do it? Play that clip, Dima.
A leader at a Detroit nonprofit is accused of preying on low-income residents and stealing their homes.
Federal officials say more than 30 houses in Wayne County, primarily in Detroit, were impacted by this scheme that targeted those at risk of facing tax foreclosure.
CBS News Detroit's Andres Gutierrez is at the U.S. District Courthouse with reaction.
According to the federal complaint, the FBI started looking into Zina Thomas, director of homeownership programs at the United Community Housing Coalition, last November, when a special unit within Wayne County suspected she was filing fraudulent quitclaim deeds and falsifying documents.
This is a pervasive crime that occurs. The problem is that the entry level for the U.S. Attorney's Office and the Department of Justice is higher than the typical fraud that occurs.
But in this case, federal investigators discovered Thomas allegedly conspired to steal over 30 properties from low-income residents. Here's how the feds say the scheme worked. Thomas allegedly filed a number of phony deeds who would then transfer the target properties from the victim owners to interim owners who didn't exist before ultimately selling the house to unsuspecting third parties.
And you seemingly have a number of people who are unindicted co-conspirators. Those are people who are typically cooperating. There's also, I'm sure, other people who will be interviewed and will either cooperate or not.
The United Community Housing Coalition says they're cooperating with the investigation and the individuals involved have been suspended.
It's just disheartening that an employee of a nonprofit would, take advantage of their position.
Other housing advocates say this is an isolated incident that casts a shadow on their mission to help the community.
This happens, unfortunately, and mostly to vulnerable people, either economically disadvantaged, senior citizens, right? We see a lot of times that these kind of crimes happen to disadvantaged people, but there are a lot of organizations out here that are doing good.
The United Community Housing Coalition works with the city of Detroit, who said in a statement they're aware of the investigation for several months and don't believe it has affected the quality service the city of Detroit is receiving from UCHC in our Right to Counsel and other programs. In Detroit, Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Detroit.
Oh yeah, so she gets the payments for these properties via wire transfer into a bank account in the same name of the realty company. Then the funds are transferred to her own personal account. She even lives in one of those houses while, the people who are already low income as it is are going to become less low income in a city like Detroit, which you have some of the most poorest African Americans on planet Earth right now. Her charges are, get this, drum roll please, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, money laundering, and aggravated identity theft. Give her a round of applause. I mean, that's just great. I mean, this is an awesome thing to do at age 60 years old, when now your ass is going to be going to jail. And booty clapping sounds. I mean, we don't know what might happen to you in there, but let's fly all the way to Memphis. And Memphis is another city that has, well, a lot of African Americans who are, well, you guessed it, poor. You have this sister, Erica Norris, who is a former leasing office employee who, is doing certain things to a lot of black women, some black women that trust her. Now, again, stop the show. I've been seeing this pattern. We've been seeing ladies in black cities who are, again, in position of authority to help sisters out, but that's not what we're always seeing, are we? Well, let me tell you how much Erica Norris loves her sisters, how much she loves her close friends that care about her. I mean, because with friends like this, who needs enemies? Play that clip!
WREG first told you about Erica Norris in January.
A former leasing office worker at a Hickory Hill apartment complex is facing charges tonight after police say she scammed some tenants out of their rent money.
Nakima Cook says Norris scammed her too, not out of rent money, but a tax refund back in 2018.
Girl, I still want my money.
And Cook says Norris is no stranger. She's almost like family and even lived with her for a while. She says at the time, Norris was working for a tax company and told her she could get a tax loan to help her get a car.
She said, well, just come to the office tomorrow and go ahead and file your taxes, and then that way you could try to qualify for the tax loan so that you could try to get you some transportation.
Cook says she got the tax loan, but when it got to her, it wasn't the full $7,500 she was promised. And instead of being deposited in her bank account, she says Erica Norris brought her a gift card.
So I'm like, okay, Erica, if my taxes was $7,500, then I'm only have $3,500 on there. So she said, well, she said, I got it in my email. She said they was doing an amendment. Again, I don't know anything about how it goes doing taxes and stuff or whatever, but I know I never had heard of that.
Cook says the other $3,500 never came, and soon Norris disappeared.
When I got home, Erica had started moving her things out. I didn't see her for a few days. I was calling her, no answer. So I started getting in touch with the IRS myself to see what was going on. Come to find out, they had gave me the date on when the taxes had dropped, and it was the full $7,500 that had dropped, but she had got it set to her own account. So she went and put half on a Green Dot card, which was the card that she gave me.
Cook went to police, but says she was told to go back to the IRS. The IRS said she couldn't get her money back until police finished their investigation and gave her the paperwork.
The police department just pretty much just shoved me out the way, and they kept saying, well, we'll get in contact with you. It's been 5 years. I still have not heard anything.
Cook says she was shocked when she went to Facebook and saw tons of complaints about Erica Norris and tenants' rent payments.
Other people was making comments saying, I can't believe Erica did this to me. I can't believe she did this to me or whatever. She was just going around taking taxes.
Tanya Clay says she was a victim too after she sent Norris hundreds of dollars as a down payment for an apartment at Lakes on Ridgeway last spring.
I sent her $400 on Cash App, then I sent her a $40 fee. Then I think my daughter ended up sending her like $250. So rightfully in all, I think she got me for like $1,000, $1,200 and something. What she got me for.
Clay admits she would have never used Cash App for making a down payment, but she trusted Erica Norris since she had known her from grade school, and Norris had also done her taxes.
I didn't know she was out here scamming and taking people money, people close to her and things like that.
The new manager at Lake of Ridgeway says she didn't know Erica Norris, but did hear about the people sending her rent money, thinking she worked at the complex. The managers at a Cordova apartment complex heard the same and remember getting calls about Erica, who they say didn't work there.
Now again, this lady is taking advantage of a lot of people in the community, right? So much so that, hey, she's on the run because she's afraid of probably getting those gunshots. And see, it's people like this every day in black cities. You know, we had Monique Owen out in East Point, Michigan, who was also a scammer as the mayor, which is right outside of Detroit. Then you have this lady, Zina Thomas, who's in Detroit, who should be trying to help. I mean, I don't know, those protected groups like single mothers, young people, poor people. They're not doing it, all right? This is not what's happening. And you know who gets the worst end of the stick here? Hey, it ain't black men. Most of their victims are black women. So when you really peel the layers back, what I'm seeing what's happening now is the people who are getting disrespected the most in the black community, we know that it can come from black men, yes. But you wanna know who's doing, some of this scamming? Wanna know who's doing some of this disrespectful talk to sisters in these town hall meetings? Yeah, it's women elected in political positions that don't have no respect for sisters in black cities. If you would feel a black woman would get any respect, you would definitely think Chicago, at least from other black women. You would definitely think Detroit. Nope, no. They get into office or they get into certain situations. This is not everybody, but we have seen so much clear evidence of, hey, listen, what's up with all this entitlement, And why is all this scamming kind of behavior going on? Again, if this was a black man, let's go back to Zina Thomas. They were like, well, this don't make our office look that bad. If that was a black man, they would crucify him. A black man, no, he can't go into that kind of situation and scam nobody. First of all, they're gonna put his ass underneath the jail, and he know damn well he not gonna get away with that. But hey, this is where we at in the black community. We have people who are elected to do something for the people, and they're looking to do something for themselves. And it's just as bad as these pastors who take these poor people all around the black community and take their money. But then this is a city government thing, mayors, trustees, politicians, and you're still stealing from people from the community? It's sick. It's sick, and it needs to stop. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Shady Jackson. Back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all you do, the bell. We're out.